Hello, hello. Let me get to the live chat. I'm going to get to my... I hope that I did not close out the files that I want to use tonight. Let's see. Hope that y'all had a good day. It was actually a little bit warm here today. It warmed up. I got a lot done. There's a lot still to be done. And I was still able to go for a bike ride. So that was nice. Biked, I think it was 5.54 miles. That was good. Okay, let me see here. Trying to find. We're going to talk about Nick Godejohn, among other things. But some things that he said about Gypsy that maybe you didn't hear before. So let me just, you know what I did? I did do that. Isn't that crazy? I closed my files here, so I need to grab them. Okay. Alrighty. All right, this is what I want to do. I think. Is this the one I want to do? Yep. All right, so 2018, flash forward, a news station spoke to Nick. He was behind bars, and he was going to give his side of the story and to why he actually killed Dee Dee Blanchard. So let's take a look at that. And let me just see if I'm going to heat up. Let me just heat up my coffee. 1 second. I'm just going to put it. It'll just take 30 seconds. I'm so sorry, but it's give me 30 seconds. But I'm here. I can talk to you. I just need 30 seconds to heat my coffee up. Okay. Hello, you. Has anyone seen the Gypsy Rose dance? Oh, honey. They took something that Gypsy said. Oh, honey. I am so not threatened by you. Okay, about somebody that was bothering her on TikTok, I guess, and she thought was after Ken, or the woman, whoever it was, Gypsy thought she was after by Ken, and so they took it and they took the sound and they remixed it, and then everybody started doing this dance. Okay. So, everybody should know, if you're here, right? Dee Dee Blanchard was murdered in June of 2015. Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Nicholas Godejohn were both arrested days after at his house in Wisconsin. And the interviews, the interrogations were very, very different. Gypsy was like laying on a couch with blankets. Nicholas was on, a hard chair. Gypsy thought she was going to get away with this. Well, she practically did because it was an election year and it was political. She got a plea deal, even though she was the mastermind behind this, and there's evidence to show that. And Nick, who has developmental delays, autism, Asperger's, his family says, He didn't have a lawyer. And didn't seem very fair the way they questioned him, given that, or the trial. So there is people are talking now about a protest in October to lobby for Nicholas to get a new trial, okay? We'll see how that goes. So anyway, let's talk about now what he was saying. So he said, we all know that love can make you do some crazy things. Right? Now, he took a bus from his home to Springfield. We saw the text messages, right? Gypsy gave him money. She sent him hundreds of dollars to get there. And all along the way, she was texting him. She was answering questions about her mother. She had not one moment of hesitation. Not one moment where she said, yeah, let's not do this. No, she said she made her peace with her mother. You know, her mother was falling asleep. It was ready. Let's go. I'll help you. What do you need? Okay. So Nick said, and I quote, I've always been fond of the shorter women. There's no secret to that. She created these perfect personalities that would attract me to her and keep me to her to basically, she didn't have to worry about me being disinterested at some point, and she kept my attention. Now, she was the pursuer on this free Christian dating site. Gypsy was. Now, Nick said he learned about medical abuse that Gypsy's mother put her through, including having her use a wheelchair. But see, that wasn't medical abuse. That was this scam that they were doing, okay? That they both benefited from. But actually, Gypsy probably benefited more than her mother, since like the Make-A-Wish stuff and everything was all tailored for Gypsy. He said that, you know, she had told him that they had said, her mother had said that she had cancer, asthma, muscular dystrophy. But he said that he tried to convince Gypsy to just run away with him. And she just said, no. Tried it before, didn't work. We got to do something more permanent, you know? Terrible. And I quote him now. He said, if she tried to go to the police due to the way her mom was making her be portrayed to look as, she would have basically looked like a lunatic that no one would believe due to what her mom was putting her in, due to what her mom was putting in everyone else's head. She felt that it was a non-escapable path she was on, and she needed someone to understand her enough to be willing to basically risk their life for her. And she, Gypsy, chose and groomed for 2 years Nick Godejohn to be that person. He admits he would do anything for her. And so he was then charged with first-degree murder and the stabbing death of Gypsy's mother. And I quote again, he said, I regret how I had to get her out of the situation. But I don't regret getting her out of it. I wish I would have known it was more manipulation than love. Because if I would have known that, I probably would not have been in the situation I'm in. Maybe I do regret putting my heart out there, but in another way, I don't regret it any, because it has made me a stronger person. As they always say, no pain, no gain, end quote. Okay, Gypsy, like I said, she was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but she was eligible for parole when 85% of that was served. And Nick says he thinks there's reasons why he should not have such a stiff sentence as he does, okay? He blames that there was an evil alter ego that did this. And I quote, he said, "I barely knew anything about that part of me until what happened. Due to my main disability, it is easy for me to be deceived." The disability is Asperger's syndrome, something Nick Godejohn said he was diagnosed with in his teens, and is one of the factors that he's going to use as defense for committing murder in his trial. It didn't go so well, right? Because he still got life in prison without the possibility of parole. He said, and I quote, "I was planning on using my mental disability, which is clearly documented from multiple psychiatrists, being gullible to a person's opinions very easily. In fact, I've actually been gullible my whole life." Okay. The second defense is a matter of the heart. And he said, and I quote, "I wish I would have known it was more manipulation than love, because if I would have known that, I probably would not be in the situation I'm in. Her mom taught her very well how to basically master manipulation, master lying, master deceiving great audiences of people. And it's because of that he believes he has what is a fair sentence in mind. And it's not the 10 years that Gypsy received. He said, "I'm still trying to get 15, and that's where I stand. I'm still trying to get that. I would be happy if me and her would have gotten the same amount of time. I'm not one of those people who's going to try and wish her a life sentence." And then the fact is he still loves her after all of this. He said, and I quote, "You might have betrayed me and turned your back on me, but that's not going to stop me from loving you. I'm always going to love you, whether you want to accept it or not." And he said she was brought up to lie and lie and lie. She was brought up to play the victim role. That's the way she was brought up. She's only doing what she was taught. "I basically promised her that I will always love her. And it's true, I do. I still love her. But however, I am not in love with her. If she would want to be friends with me, I'm fine with that. If she didn't, I'm fine with it too." And then he said, "I do have my heart go out to all of Gypsy's family for what happened to their daughter or sister or aunt, and I wish that this would have ended in a much more or less drastic way than it did." Okay, so we're going to also take a look at Nick's trial and everything. Get over here for a second. Hi, Pinkberry, how are you? Hello there. I'm not sure what your name is. AM? It's so weird because your name is like, everything is grayed out there. Hi, Tree Dog. Hi, Joanne Smith. How are you? Oh, that song is stuck in your head? I am so not threatened by you. Bucky Ann, Margot, Kevin. All right. Margot's bothering you, Kevin? I'm sorry. Okay, let's look. I'm here. I know you're going to tell me I can't hear you. I'm here. I just wanted to drink my coffee for a second. Okay. Let's look at the trial. because this was a short trial. Nick had a very short trial. I believe it was only 4 days, and I believe the jury was out to deliberate mere, I don't even know if it was 2 hours. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so he's been asking for a new trial. He has appeal documents, but he's been denied, I believe, until now. Let's see, when the last time he was doing this was in December. And so at the end of December, prosecutors argued that Nick Godejohn plotted for more than a year before he stabbed Dee Dee Blanchard. His attorneys argued that he's autistic and therefore he doesn't have the mental capabilities required for premeditation. Gypsy Rose Blanchard took the stand at Nick's trial, and she said, "I talked him into it." Godejohn's trial attorney, Dwayne Perry, said, "Nick was so in love with her and so obsessed with her that he would do anything." He said his client has autism and was manipulated. Prosecutors, however, disagreed and argued that Nick was motivated by sex and a desire to be with Gypsy. The Greene County Sheriff, Jim Arnott, said things are not always as they appear, and he said strange revelations began to emerge. But Godejohn is now serving a life sentence for his role in the murders. Now, there was another interview that Nick Godejohn did from prison. And I'm going to quote him here. He said, "Somehow I just knew deep within my heart, some way, me and her would end up being together in the end. There's no other option. We got to do it. I wanted to make sure her mom was not going to harm her anymore, and I made sure of that." He said the days before Dee Dee's murders were the best days of his life. He said, and I quote, "That was, man, probably the best days of my life. That's the only way I can describe it. I enjoyed every second of it." He said if he didn't get sentenced to life in prison, he was going to get a job, start looking for an apartment. After a little ways down the road, I'd probably end up marrying her and end up having children with her. That's something I've never had with someone else. To this day, she's the only one I've ever had that with. Okay, let's see. Now, Gypsy's lawyer, Mike Stanfield, recalled the first time that he met Gypsy, she got out of breath walking 75 yards from an elevator to the room where he talked to her. He described her as malnourished and physically frail. And I quote him saying, "I can honestly say I've rarely had a client who looks exceedingly better after doing a fairly long prison sentence. Prison is generally not a place where you become happy and healthy. And I say that because to me, that's kind of the evidence to the rest of the world as to just how bad what Gypsy was going through really was." Yeah, please. Gypsy said later, it wasn't until her arrest that she realized how healthy she was. Okay, let's keep going. So let's talk about the appeal. Just days after Gypsy got released on December 28th, Nick Godejohn will likely Gypsy will continue to dominate conversations. So let's see what Nick was doing back then. Godejohn is now serving his life sentence at the Potosi Correctional Facility in Missouri. He has filed several appeals following his conviction, several. In August of 2022, Godejohn requested a new trial with a new attorney, arguing that he previously had ineffective assistance of counsel and that Godejohn lacked understanding due to his mental capacity. However, a judge denied his motion. In December of 2023, his public defender filed another appeal for a new trial, but there is reportedly no deadline for the court to deliver a ruling. Okay, and then he did another interview, and this time he did it for Snapped Killer Couples in 2019. He said he'd wrestled an angel and a devil on his shoulder before murdering Dee Dee. He called Gypsy Blanchard his soulmate and said he will always have feelings for her, and adding that I wanted to make sure her mom was not going to harm her anymore. He expressed regret for his crime. If I had to change anything at all, of course, one of the obvious ones is that I would have ran away with Gypsy. I want to let everyone know that I'm not this cold killer that doesn't have feelings. I'm a human being. Human beings make mistakes. Okay. So let's talk about what happened on the day one of testimony. Okay. Trying to get you a graphic up there of the courtroom. There we go. It's coming over. It's just taking a little time. You gotta love technology. You gotta love it. Okay, let's see. There we go. So, let's talk about this. I have my, hang on, this is taking craziness. So, may get held in 1 second. Sorry about this. Okay. I don't know what is up with my computer. It's really has a mind of its own. Okay, here's what we want to see. Where did I just see that? All right. I don't want to see. I don't know why it's doing that. All right, so let me get to the beginning here. I got it. Oh my goodness. I keep hearing people talking in Zoom. It's on my phone over there. Driving me crazy. Okay. All right, so the first day, of course, oh my goodness, they had the opening statements. And, oh my gosh, this file is driving me crazy. Oh my God. Okay. What is up with this thing here? I don't know what the heck. I just had my thing here and now it's like, I don't know what it's doing. Stupid thing. How do I get this off here? Don't get nervous with the black. It's just, let me close another window down here. This is driving me crazy. We're not playing word cookies. I don't know why it brought up word cookies. Nope, not now. It's not word cookies time. Picture on the wall. Okay, let's see if it's going to cooperate now because this is really getting to be aggravating and I know if I go back. Okay, let's see if it'll do it now. Okay, so his jury was made up of 9 women and 6 men. And the Greene County Assistant Prosecutor Nathan Chapman began opening statements, and he said that he intends to prove that Nick Godejohn deliberated several times before killing Dee Dee Blanchard, and he should be found guilty of first-degree murder. He described Nick Godejohn standing outside of Dee Dee Blanchard's bedroom holding a knife and thinking about his actions before the killing. He said that Nick was in love with Blanchard's daughter, Gypsy Blanchard. The only thing that stood between him being with Gypsy was Claudine. And he described several incidents where he believes Nick Godejohn deliberated before the murder, like when he was standing outside the bedroom door, when he took a long bus ride to Springfield, and even a year prior when Gypsy first brought up the idea of killing her mother. Prosecutors said that Nick Godejohn and Gypsy Blanchard had a bizarre relationship that began on a Christian dating for free site. He warned the jurors that they will hear evidence of sexual role-playing and alter egos. The motive wasn't to save Gypsy Blanchard, but to allow the couple to be together. He said that Claudine suffered 17 stab wounds in the homicide. He said the evidence of Nick's online activity will tie everything together, like his Facebook chats with friends and his search history. Yes, this was Gypsy's idea, but the defendant on June 10th was ready to kill, and these texts will show you that he was enjoying it, said Chapman. Okay, and then Andrew Mead, one of the public defenders who's representing Nicholas, made his opening statement, and he painted Godejohn as an autistic man with few friends who only had one real job in his life, holding a sign outside of a pizza restaurant. And we heard his stepfather talk about that last night. And he spent most of his time on the internet. That was his outlet to the world, his attorney said. And he said that Nick met Gypsy online in October of 2012, and he fell madly in love. He described the abuse that Gypsy Blanchard suffered at the hands of her mother, Claudine Dee Dee Blanchard, that included the mother forcing the daughter to pretend she was disabled and undergo unnecessary medical procedures. We found out that that's false. Mead said it was Gypsy Blanchard who formulated the plan to escape her mother. Mead said Gypsy Rose arranged for Nick Godejohn to come down to Springfield and stole the murder weapon. Nick was happy to do whatever Gypsy wanted. He was always compliant. Mead says the defense plans to show that Nick Godejohn wasn't able to formulate the necessary mental state to commit first-degree murder because of his autism. He said the defense is not disputing that he killed Claudine Blanchard, but they do not believe first-degree murder is an appropriate charge. Okay. And then the first of two witnesses took this stand, the Greene County Sheriff's Office deputies. First deputy was Mike Robertson. He testified about going to the Blanchard's house on Volunteer Way to do a well-being check. At that time, neighbors had not seen the mother and daughter for days, and there was a post on their joint Facebook page stating that Biatch is dead. Deputy didn't notice any signs of forced entry. And then next up was Jim Stanley, who's a sergeant, and he testified that he obtained the search warrants for the home, and they went inside and they found Claudine Blanchard's body, as well as a white paper towels and blood evidence. Photos were showed by prosecutors. They showed the Blanchard house was cluttered with papers and boxes throughout the home. And let me see if I can show you some of those right now. And let me see if I have the Google Drive. It's not open. Okay, I'll just do these. All right, so let's take a look at some of these. And we did look at, we looked at all of these before in the past, I don't know, a couple years ago. I think it changes so much. And there was a lot of stuff in Gypsy's room, a lot of stuff in the bathroom, but you know what, I want to show you, this is interesting. Over here it says, this is my mama thinks I'm special. Interesting, right? And then this was interesting. You see this right here? This is like baby boy clothes. It's got little shoes. It has a little blanket. And remember when she said she was, I believe it was shoplifting baby clothes and stuff, and that was the plan, the other plan was to get pregnant and stuff. I wonder if those were clothes she had bought. If that was what that was, you know. And then this is the bathroom that she was allegedly inside, right? This bathroom, where did it go? It's got this little dog here, a little bird over here, some boats. Okay, and let's see. And this is another room in the house. It's like it looks like a fake fireplace. Whoopsie. Here, and that has the fleur de lis. Let's see. And then she had this big dollhouse here. The Christmas tree looks like it was still up. And here's a view of the kitchen. Hold on, it's taking a second. She had it like set for a much younger child, but again, that was their grift, right? And then it said, like, what happened to all of Gypsy's stuff that's here? Now, Kristy and Rod are said to have cleaned the house afterwards. And so whatever they did with anything, they did with it. I don't know. I think it's weird, like, there's certain things, like there's stuff all around, but then there's like just two things on the top of that fireplace, but yet, then you've got stuff like this. Right, and they didn't have, it was a very small kitchen, but she had like these big trays. Now, this, I would think that that's probably, they either ate on the couch with those or in their beds with these trays. And she's got some Mickey Mouse, cookie jar Mickey Mouse over here. Remember, everything was like Disney, this Mickey Mouse wallpaper border in the kitchen. And then the stuff for the cats, that's the other thing in the bathroom. There was another shot in the litter box that like needed to be changed so bad for these animals that she loved so much, right? You think she would have at least cleaned that up. And like Starbucks mugs and everything. It's like, what happened here? Was this like, is that the way it was? What was going on? Did they, like what's up with that? Were they searching for cleaners? I don't know what the deal with that is, right? Okay, so let me go back to here. I'm going to talk more about the trial. Hi, Oliver. This is the psychologist or something like. Oh, the trial? Those were the opening statements that I went through, and then the two deputies. That's all I've gone through so far. Okay, 1 second. Put something away. All right, so let's go back and see what we have now. So they had the clutter. That's what we were talking about, the clutter. Okay, so you got an idea of that. Then Tom Vanderberg with the Greene County Medical Examiner's Office was the third witness to take the stand. And he testified that he went to the Blanchard's home on Volunteer Way in June to examine Dee Dee's body. And he said that Dee Dee was found face down on a bloody mattress in the house, and that she had stab wounds on her back and the back of her head. And he said there was a total of 17 total stab wounds and 2 large cuts. She'd been dead for at least 24 to 36 hours before authorities found her. The jurors were given folders of photographs that showed Dee Dee's injuries. Those photographs were not shown to the courtroom audience. The cause of her death was determined to be stab wounds. Let's see. Okay, then 2 cab drivers testified about rides they provided early in the morning on June 10th, 2015, to and from the home where Gypsy and Dee Dee Blanchard lived. Sherry Messer said she picked up a white male at the Days Inn Hotel on North Glenstone Avenue at 1:57 a.m. And she said, and I quote, "I'm very talkative with my passengers, especially people that I pick up in an airport or a hotel." The man said he was from Wisconsin. And he spoke with an accent, though she didn't know what kind of accent. He said he was there to meet his girlfriend. She said she pulled up to the house on Volunteer Way about 10 minutes later and parked on the street. The man asked her to wait for a few seconds as he was on the phone texting his girlfriend to see what door she wanted him to use, and then he got out. He didn't go to the front door. He went to the rear of the home. And then another cab driver, John Harmon, testified that he picked up 2 people in his taxi a few hours later, shortly before 6 a.m. There was a man wearing blue jeans and a white t-shirt, and a woman wearing a skirt. It looked like she possibly had a wig on. It was a quiet ride to the Days Inn Hotel. He said he dropped them off at 5:55, and the woman paid him. Okay. Go over here. Hold on, I'm trying to get this. Okay. So they played the interrogation video. Now, we watched this already. It was about 90 minutes, and it showed Investigator Maholi's interrogation of Godejohn. In the video, Maholi suggests they trade off asking questions. I can ask you some questions, you can ask me some questions, and Godejohn said, that's fair. But as soon as it becomes clear that she's going to be the one asking all the questions, the tone is friendly, she takes off his handcuffs, Godejohn laughs a few times, he reads aloud a consent form, and he pauses and he gets stuck on a word, coercion. And Godejohn said he thought it meant punishment, and she explains it means trickery. Then the interview begins, and she tells him, Gypsy told us everything. And Godejohn had been telling a story of coming to Springfield to pick up Gypsy because Dee Dee had cast Gypsy out of their home. He makes no mention of Dee Dee's death, and she said, I want you to do the honorable thing for Gypsy. Did Gypsy know you were going to kill her mother? He said, honestly, she asked me to. She felt it was the only way to be with me. When he arrived at Gypsy's house, Gypsy handed him gloves and a knife. With prodding, Godejohn describes going into Dee Dee's bedroom, climbing on top of her, and stabbing her in the back. The first few thrusts went into Dee Dee's back without difficulty, he said, but on the 4th thrust, the knife became lodged in her back. He thinks the knife might have went into her lung at that point, and I had to really yank it out, he said. It was his evil side who stabbed Dee Dee, he said, because his good side wouldn't let him. Godejohn said that Gypsy also has other people inside her, like someone with an evil side that's called Ruby. Never get between me and Ruby, Godejohn recalls telling Dee Dee as he stabbed her. Dee Dee was screaming, he said. Gypsy was in the bathroom. Dee Dee screamed 3 times for Gypsy, but Gypsy never came. And after he killed Dee Dee, Godejohn said he and Gypsy, still naked, made her get naked. She was in the bathroom shaving her legs and private areas, okay? And then she was naked, and he just had her start cleaning, but then they went to Gypsy's room to have intimate relations with each other. He says it was consensual, and he said he was the one in charge. He said we pretty much did all three. You can decipher what that means. And he said he had taken her virginity in the bathroom of a movie theater, but that's not really the case because she was with others allegedly. And it was in March. She mailed him $400 to come visit her. She was wearing a Cinderella costume. They were seeing Cinderella. And they went off in the bathroom and, you know, he had stuff. So then, let's see. He talked to the investigator about having sex with Gypsy, and he said that he did not have a happy ending there. He just couldn't do it. He said he has a lot of stamina or endurance, and he just wasn't ready. Wasn't ready. Okay. I don't know where my mouse is. I can't find it. Let me see what's up with it. What's up with my mouse here? There we go. There we go. Sorry, this is just... I don't know what the heck. Let me see. I'm going to try to change the battery. Okay. What the heck? There we go. Okay, I'm sorry. So, come on. I've got my mouse back, but my thing is spinning. So, I mean, the trial was short, and I mean, I don't understand how they would watch that interview and didn't think that, you know, he probably should have had someone with him. It's kind of like that Brandon Massey. That was a travesty. That poor kid thought he had to get back for his school. Oh my gosh, that killed me. Okay, so let's go. Oh my gosh, sorry about that. Computer's just being a jerk tonight. Okay, I'm just gonna wait and let it catch up. I don't know what the deal is. Okay, so we're getting there. All right, I think that's how they ended the first day. Again, this was in November of 2018. We have a detective that's going to... Joseph Fletcher with the Greene County Sheriff's Office testified. And Nick Godejohn was 29 years old, over 3 years after the murders, okay? And as soon as it wants to allow me to move this, that would be good. Now it's my mouse doing it again. I don't know what is up with this mouse. Order a new one or something. Such a little jerk. Oh my goodness. This is nuts. I don't know which way is on. Okay, now we've got this on. Let's see if it'll work. And I did watch, I still have to watch 2 more episodes of that Scott Peterson thing. I only got through the first of the 3 episodes. Okay. Any day. Maybe it's time to do the, my man wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Okay, 10-foot pole. Hold on, I'm going to get another battery. Sorry, it sounds like it's on like life support, okay? If it doesn't, what is going on? You want to end all the processes, right? Might as well just end them all because this is ridiculous. Don't be scared. We'll get it. We'll get it. Hang on. I know it's a... I'm just in the tent trying to fix stuff. Hang on. Hang on. Hopefully I'll just start it again and I'll just put on a whole bunch of files open. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Is Mercury in retrograde or anything like this? This is nuts. What is up with this? I'm ready to take this and send it sailing out the door. Oh boy. Okay, let's see if we can get to YouTube and see if you guys are still here. If you are, kudos for that. Thanks for sticking around. This is like ridiculous. Oh, honey, I'm so not threatened by you. Okay, I'm coming back to the live. See, why is it saying error? YouTube's not receiving, so I've got to check that when I go live again from now on. Hello, W2 Scooter. I definitely have to check that. Hi, little lady. Hi, Lexi. Hi, I'm really sorry. Hi, it's Bank. It's crazy. I don't know why it's freaking doing that, but it's saying like error. Your YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. And I should try to make sure that I do that when I go into streams. Alright, let's see. Say over there that it's okay. Alright, well, let's try to get through this as best we can. Hopefully it will. I'll get back over here. I'll get you a graphic over here so we're not looking like we're not doing anything here. There we go. Okay. So now we were on Joseph Fletcher, correct? Yes. He testified about investigating on Nick's Facebook account. He said some of the messages that he viewed were shown on a TV for jurors. The messages from May 2014 show Godejohn had planned with Gypsy to kill Dee Dee Blanchard. At some point, Nick messages his friend asking, "How crazy do you think Gypsy is?" Get that one. How crazy do you think Gypsy is? Okay, and that was it for the day one there. That's what they did on day one. And let's see. Let's do day two, okay? See what happened on day two. Okay, on day two, let's see what we did that day. All right, so on text messages exchanged between Nicholas Godejohn and Gypsy Blanchard were shown as evidence on Wednesday, November 14th, 2018. So these were shown. And it says, "Tomorrow is the last night we sleep alone." That's Gypsy. Nick says, "True, baby. However, I'm going to pay for nights separately." Then they have these shown. Gypsy said, "I love, adore, and worship you, my everything." He said, "I love, adore, and worship you too, my everything, times infinity." And some more text messages were shown. With Gypsy saying, "Darling, can you please meet me online? We need to talk about our plan." He says, "Okay, honey." Nick says, honey, this is where we're different, though. I don't just want everything with you, but I need everything with you for me to feel complete, sweetheart. She says, I need you too. And then there was a spreadsheet of computer searches done by Nick. So, taxi fare finder, they showed that he was going to her address, 2103 West Volunteer Way. He was looking up maps, Springfield, Missouri. So that's his web history there that he was looking at. And there was also these on Amazon, double locking steel police handcuffs. And there was a taser gun, a guard dog, 65 million volt police stun gun. And then another page. Walmart search for cold steel trial master knife, a primitive knife with a knife sheath, fixed blade knife. And then these, bondage tape, mischief bondage tape. Okay. Over there, that's the prosecutor, Dan Patterson, and he's asking Michael Costello, a computer forensics analyst with the Springfield Police Department, to identify a cell phone and then the knife is shown. And then there's a photograph of bloody paper towels. And that's displayed. So that was basically day 2. See here, 3. Day 3 is when Gypsy testified. Okay, so compelling testimony from Gypsy Blanchard, the woman involved in the murder of her mother, Dee Dee. Gypsy described to the court how she felt abused by her mother, and that Nicholas Godejohn agreed to help her find freedom. She testified for a little more than an hour. She admitted that it was her idea to kill her mother a year prior because she wanted to be free from her mother's hold. She says for years, Dee Dee forced her to use a wheelchair and lied about her various sicknesses. It wasn't until she was arrested that she learned how healthy she was. And the prosecutor said that Gypsy was wearing an invisible ankle restraints when she walked into the courtroom in case she tried to run. Once Gypsy was seated at the stand, the defense began questioning her, and the defense attorney asked why she killed her mother instead of telling someone that she was healthy. And Gypsy replied that she didn't think anyone would believe her because her mother had paperwork explaining that she was incompetent. Gypsy says killing her mother was the last resort. She said that Nick Godejohn had other plans, like trying to get Dee Dee to like him or even getting pregnant, even stealing baby clothes from Walmart in her wheelchair. See? When the alternatives to murder didn't work, she considered poisoning Dee Dee, arson, or shooting her. Gypsy says it was Godejohn's idea to use the knife and her idea to mail it to his home in Wisconsin. The defense asked her why she didn't do it herself, and Gypsy said she didn't like blood, so she didn't think she could go through with it. Gypsy explained why she thought murder was the only option instead of telling anyone about her mother's abuse, and she said, and I quote, "I didn't think anyone would believe me. I thought they would eventually tell my mom, and they would make my home life even worse for me. I feared her more than I feared anyone else." Gypsy also told the prosecution that Godejohn wanted to R her mother, but Gypsy said she talked him out of it. Gypsy says she offered for him to do that to her after the murder. The defense asked if Godejohn R'd her, and Gypsy said not at first, but then he didn't stop when she asked him to. Godejohn will only take the stand if there is a sentencing phase. On Friday, the defense will cross-examine the prosecution's rebuttal witness, and after that, the closing statements are going to begin. So let's go on to that. Closing arguments. All right, so okay. Okay, so Robert Denny, a psychologist, will be cross-examined by Nicholas's defense team. He testified the day before that he examined Nicholas and diagnosed him with autism spectrum disorder, level 1. Now, that is a less severe version of autism spectrum disorder than what Dr. Kent Franks, an expert witness called by the defense, said and had diagnosed Godejohn with. After the final witnesses are called, each side will have an opportunity to make their closing arguments. See here. Prosecutors say they have no more rebuttal evidence. The lawyers must now go over the jury instructions. Closing arguments begin. The prosecutor, Nathan Chapman, went first. He told the jury that he believes first-degree murder is the appropriate conviction because Nicholas Godejohn thought about killing Claudine Blanchard for more than a year. Chapman said that even though the murder was Gypsy's idea, Godejohn is still responsible for his actions. Yes, he was asked to do it, but he took it from there. Chapman says Godejohn was not tricked into killing Claudine Blanchard. Chapman asked the jurors not let Claudine Blanchard's character or the abuse she inflicted on Gypsy affect their decision-making. And then Nicholas Godejohn's attorney, Dwayne Perry, was closing next. He told the jury to find Godejohn not guilty of first-degree murder and consider a lesser charge. He said that Godejohn is a low-functioning person with autism, incapable of true deliberation. He said that Godejohn was manipulated into committing the homicide by Gypsy Blanchard. She talked him into doing it, he said. Gypsy testified during the trial that she was being abused and held prisoner by her mother, Claudine Blanchard. Perry said Godejohn thought of himself as Gypsy's rescuer. Nick was so in love with her and so obsessed that he would do anything, and Gypsy knew that. All right, so then just at 4:20, the judge announced the jury made a verdict. The jury was deliberating for 2 hours. Let's get to the verdict. The Okay, he was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Let's see. About his sentencing. Okay, so during Friday's sentencing hearing, Godejohn briefly addressed the judge. He said he grew up without much affection from women and fell deeply in love with Gypsy Blanchard. I was blindly in love. That was always very much the case. When the judge had no discretion, while the judge had no discretion on the first-degree murder sentence, he had the option of sentencing Godejohn to anything from 3 years and up for his second conviction for a crime called criminal action. Godejohn asked the judge to show him mercy on the armed criminal action. Judge Jones sentenced Godejohn to an additional concurrent 25 years in prison for the armed criminal action, but he acknowledged that sentence was essentially irrelevant. Before Jones handed down the sentence, he listened to some argument from Godejohn's attorney, Dwayne Perry, about why Godejohn should get a new trial. Perry's arguments were that the state should not have been able to present evidence Godejohn considered R-ing Dee Dee Blanchard on the night of the homicide. The state psychologist should not have been able to testify at trial, and the defense psychologist should have been able to testify that Godejohn had diminished capacity. Jones denied the motion but acknowledged the psychologist's ability to testify about diminished capacity could be of interest to a higher court as the case moves through the appeals process. And that's what we have there. And hi, Misbehaving. Yeah, what a crock. I saw that today. Also, if you ask George... If you ask Google, hey, Christine Micro, thank you for becoming a Deputy Rambler. Thank you very much. Badly abused, eating royal mashed potatoes, yes. Her royal mashed potatoes in Cinderella's castle. She carries a lot of power, having 10 million followers. Hi, Soul Souffle. I didn't mean to be rude, but... What's that nasty? Oh, I'm sorry. That was one of the evidence pictures. Sorry, you're not. That's not rude. I mean, that's was some of the evidence at Nick's trial. Let me put something else up there, okay? Sorry about that. How's that? Better? Better? So let's see. Oh, yeah, your wife. Oh, now I have an excellent connection again, Oliver. Isn't that crazy? She was dancing with Prince Charming and the royal mashed potatoes. Let's look at the royal mashed potatoes. What are the royal mashed potatoes? I wonder if they have a copycat recipe or something. Royal mashed potatoes. Okay, and let's put Disney. Recipe, root, mashed potatoes, Cinderella's royal table. Let's see. Okay, it says recipe, root, mashed potatoes, Cinderella's royal table. But they're saying that Cinderella's royal table has 2 carrots, red skin potatoes, 1 pound, 1 butternut squash, half a red onion, 1 clove of roasted garlic, salt and pepper, 4 ounces of whole butter, and 1 cup of milk. But that says root mashed potatoes. And then it says, okay, it gives you the recipe for that. And this is other recipes at Cinderella's royal table. They have blueberry cheese buckle. They have Earl's Poulette with spinach and garlic bread pudding. They have lemon ice cream, macaroni and cheese. Now, I don't see... I wonder what she had, you know, to be over there and having this. She was just so crazy, right? Royal mashed potatoes. And she was like barely eating them. Like she barely had anything on her fork. The royal mashed potatoes. Disney mashed potatoes and root vegetables. No. Right, let me see here. Okay, so somebody's saying in prison, Gypsy didn't need to see the doctor nearly so often, though she did go to have her feeding tube removed. Once inside prison, Gypsy and Nick never had a moment to talk like their characters did in the yard. So that in the movie, the act, that was not real. And this is, it's the actress that played Gypsy in the act. Did you guys watch the act on Hulu? We watched it a while ago. Probably should watch it again. So it looks like Gypsy's stepmom, Kristy Blanchard, has expressed... Oh, so listen, the Gypsy Blanchard was very, very upset about this movie, The Act. Oh my gosh. Kristy Blanchard. And they said that Aaliyah Woodmansey, Gypsy's friend and neighbor, has also spoken out about the show. And they said what they thought about the episode 6, Bonnie and Clyde, and they're going to break down everything that they think episode 7 got wrong. So they're very upset about all of that. I guess it's not the narrative they wanted to share. They said when Nick and Gypsy were both kept in Greene County Jail in Missouri, there was no point in time where they were ever together. I think that was to just drive home this morbid obsession the show has with comparing Gypsy and Nick to Bonnie and Clyde, but also how they're perceiving Gypsy turning her back on Nick. Perceiving it, that's what she did, right? Let's see. Gypsy Rose. Okay, let's see. It was enough to watch her on the stand. Then her interrogation, it was clear who she was and what she was. Right. Debbie Two Scooter says she's very dangerous. Did anyone get the stats on the ultrasound? The ultrasound is real. It is, and it is a ultrasound boutique type place that gave her that ultrasound. They gifted it to her, and you can go. I have a short where I'll show you their Instagram page. You'll see it's a real place. The one that did Gypsy's ultrasound is right on there. I believe she's the owner and the head tech there. It is real. The baby looks to be the size she says she is. So that is, she is real. I know that it's in an ultrasound. I know that. I'm an ultrasound tech. Okay. I want the stats on the screen. They didn't have the stats on the screen. They did not put the number of weeks and stuff on the screen, and I think they just don't do that for privacy reasons. And I saw it in other people's as well. So, yeah, they didn't put the number of weeks or anything. We did look for that. It's not there. They just had baby Urker. So, yep. I'm on a high right now, living my best life. Nobody's gonna bring me down. And I don't know, did we go through that she was posing with a bell pepper? I meant to go over that. Scooter seemed confused about it, and I'm like, gosh, did I get a chance to go over that last night? So she's doing everything the PR firm wants her to, and she's, laying down with this bell pepper. And more that she's doing is this is everything that the PR agency told her to do. Officially entering 5th month, okay? This is all directed in that report by the PR agency. Okay, now here's some, let's see. Here's what she said about the baby, okay? She said, when I first learned that I am expecting as a first-time mom, I had many questions. Education is key in all aspects of life. Here are some insightful pregnancy facts that I learned along my journey. That doesn't sound like somebody wrote that for you, Gypsy. Hashtag pregnancy. Hashtag first-time mom. She posted on Instagram stories a photo of a book she's reading, which is entitled A Chapter Filled, the 5th Month. She announced in a tearful YouTube video in July that she was expecting her first baby with her boyfriend, Ken Euchre. And then she said, I'm not going to say that a baby will help a marriage or a relationship because obviously there's the added stress. I know that realistically there's going to be arguments too. Oh, but remember, you said when you have an argument, you get a divorce. Remember, that's what you did with Ryan. One argument, you get divorced. But Ken and I both come from divorced parents. And one thing we absolutely agreed on from day one, even back when we were dating in 2017, is that when we have a child, we will stick together for the long haul. Oh, okay. But if you didn't, then one argument you leave, right? Like you did with Ryan? Okay, good. This is a forever thing because we don't want our child to grow up in a broken home. Oh, wow. Okay. Crazy, crazy. All right. I think that's about the size of it. Does anybody else have any question? 2 months prior to getting preggo, she flat out said she's not ready for a baby. Oh, she lies all the time. That was totally scripted into there. Her father said, Lifetime's paying for this. Show me the money. Give me your money. Give me your money. Give me your money. Right? You're getting 21. You're getting that she's 21 weeks. It's not Ryan's baby. I'm telling you, it's not Ryan's baby. She took morning after. Let's see. It just bugs me, Gypsy, on this stand, sitting on there without a bra on. Really? She didn't have one on? So you said, now I know it's her thing, not just poor me, mama system didn't teach me how to sit properly. The baby was 17 weeks and 2 days when, did she though? Well, they showed it on the series, on the Life After Lockup. They showed her taking it. They most certainly did. Soon enough, we'll see. She has to take a paternity test anyway because she was married to Ryan. I don't think it's Ryan's child. But whatever it is, it is. Hey, I didn't think she was pregnant at all, so whatever it is, it is. And then to unwind, we're going to just do a daily word puzzle. You could still talk about the case. I'm able to do both. I multitask very well. So, don't believe a word out of her mouth, Soul says. Yep. And anytime anybody wants to call in and talk about Gypsy, you don't know why she's waiting for the paternity test? Because it's more drama. It's more drama. It's more something, you know? It's just more of her drama. Right. Rod, look, her father's there. Yeah, she's saying, like, she's so behind, like, she got something and she goes, that's hot, like Paris Hilton. That's hot. It's like, okay. They're not really saying that anymore, Gypsy. That's hot. You hope it's Ryan's, Kristy? Well, baby would probably be taken care of much better with Ryan, but, you know, I mean, who knows? I don't think it is, though. Just don't think it is. Got here. Hi, Emmy. They could have Christine Micro. You never know with Gyps, right? She's always trying to make them jealous and everything. You never know with her. Yeah, I agree. You never know. You never know what you're going to get with Gypsy. She's like a box of chocolate. You just never know what you're going to get with her. Would you send your kid to... No, I would never, ever. I wouldn't leave any living thing alone with Gypsy. I truly mean that. Whether it be my flying squirrel, whether it be a goldfish, turtle, puppy. No, I don't trust Gypsy. I do not. Sorry, I don't. Sorry, not sorry. And that was an easy one. Yeah, I don't trust her at all. No way, no how. Regardless who the dad is, that poor baby, they better watch that little thing. I wouldn't even stop on the same... I wouldn't even shop at the same store. Yeah, I wonder what happens when she goes into the stores and stuff. You know, There is someone here that lives near, like that has seen them, who lives in Louisiana near where Ken lives and has seen them. You know, and I'm just like, I don't know. No, the live's not over, misbehaving. We're just doing this right now. I'm talking to you. Didn't you hear me? The live is not over. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? You want to call in? You can call in. We do two things at one time. If she goes along, what's the next thing? She's going to have to do the nursery. She says her crib is on back order, right? Yeah, okay. All right. She says her crib's on back order. What do you mean anything? I don't know what you mean by anything. Sure, give me the number. Oh, you want to call in? All right, you gotta email me, misbehaving. You just email me and you get the number to call in, okay? Come on. Call. It's Carolyn at truecrimechat.org. If you Nightbot will give it to you. There he goes. Nightbot has put it out there. Tell me when you've sent it so I can go get it. Oh boy. As with Meghan Markle, Soul Souffle says, my bigger question about Gypsy is who is really backing her? All her publicity and influencing, normalizing matricide and loose living. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're making her a celebrity. I mean, it's crazy, right? It certainly is. What is this one? Sorry, I'm yawning. Hey, Margot, thank you for being a member for 31 months. So tell me, did you send it there? Tell me when you sent that email, misbehaving. Let me check my email and see if misbehaving sent her email. Wants to liven it up. If anybody else wants to liven it up, just email in for the number. Last time I checked, you didn't have it. I don't have anything yet. I don't have anything yet. Okay, I don't have you. Nope. Not yet. Oopsie. I gave you my email waiting for the number. Did you email me? I just checked my email. I didn't have an email from you. Let me see. I'll go refresh it again. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I don't have anything, baby. Sorry, misbehaving. I still don't have it. Please check the email. Make sure it's Carolyn, CAROLYN, at truecrimechat.org. It's not .com, it's .org. Make sure you have it. A lot of people get something wrong in it, and that's why we don't get it. Hey, Justin Bieber and his wife Hailey Bieber, had their first baby. They had their baby, Jack Blues Bieber. And they showed a picture of his foot. Gypsy's taking notice. Oh, doesn't she have months before she needs a crib? She says she ordered this like $2,000 crib. I'll show you the crib that Gypsy ordered. She got it over here. She got a Cradle Wise. Okay. This is the crib that she got. Bingo. Bingo. It's coming over there. Because she wants her baby to have the best, she said. I want my baby to have the best. That's the crib she's getting. You think she's paying for it? It's being sponsored. I don't have your email. I don't have your email, hon. Your email didn't show up. I don't see your email. You have to email me. So now Cradlewise is now eligible for HSA and FSA benefits. What's that? What's that? Let me see. What is that? Health savings accounts and flexible spending accounts are both tax advantaged accounts that allow you to set aside pre-tax money to pay for eligible medical expenses. However, they have different purposes and eligibility requirements. So, there you go. Chip is getting the crib. Okay, and you can only keep the baby in there. It's not a big crib. It's 24 months and you're done. And I just think it's so deep to reach in there. It's like crazy. It's only like pops up when they're little. I don't know. I don't know. How it works compared to other smart cribs. You know, she has to have only the best for her baby. Only the best. Misbehaving, can you please put the email that you've sent it to so we can check it? Can you please just copy it and put it in the chat Obviously, it's not reaching me. I've checked my spam folder. If you would just please just copy it and put it in the chat so we can see if you have a mistake in the email. And if you've changed your mind or you've gotten stage fright about coming up, it's okay. You can just say that. It's all right. Just go on and say it if you don't feel like coming up. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired. Last time I checked. Got that song in my head. You don't have a man. Your panini pressed. I put it in the chat. Does anybody see her email in the chat or that my email? We don't see it. We don't see it at all, misbehaving. I don't see it. Let me ask. Hold on. Why is it top chat? Oh, shoot. Okay, I don't see it. Does anybody see misbehaving? Put it in the chat. It won't show in the chat because you can't send a link, but you can put my email. Nobody sees it misbehaving. It's only you that see it. I don't know. Show what? I was sent an email and mine is, I just sent an email. Hi, Turquoise. Maybe she can take it out of Ryan's health savings account. Yeah. I see yours, Mommy, but not hers. Yeah, Turquoise, I don't see yours either. See, nobody sees it, honey. If you're trying to put a link in there. Okay, I think I might have found it. Did you? Okay, I think we found it. I'm going to ask you if this is you. Okay. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start I'm going to have to go back to when did I start the new Zoom? All right, let me just grab, all right. I am going to, should I start when did I start Zoom? I'm trying to think when I started the Zoom. I think I'm just going to start a brand new Zoom because we are probably close to expired on it. All right, and I'm going to get the invite link. Okay, so that I can send this to you. Okay, and what we're going to do, your number is sent, and I'm just going to keep Zoom I'm going to pull it over here when you come on, just to make sure that we don't have any camera slip-ups or any stuff like that. Hi, Auntie Millions. Thanks, Turquoise. It's not hard, misbehaving at all. I just sent you the number. It's not hard. It's all the way you look at it. The glass could be half full or half empty. Hello there, Kato. What'd you say? Who's nasty? Who's nasty? I don't know who, did I miss somebody in the chat? Did we have a nasties? Kato? I don't know. Who is this Cradlewise? They only have one product. Weird. That's who she mentioned. That's who she mentioned. Yeah, you're calling in. You can call in. There's numbers there, or you can Zoom. We Zoom. You don't have to appear on camera. You don't. It's the same as calling in. Can somebody help me out, please? Just use your phone number. You can call in if you want. You're making me get hot flashes. Zuma, 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 zoom. Let's go. Come on. Oh my goodness. You don't look like you're laughing, Scooter. That looks like a very angry face. I wouldn't trust that baby crib, really. Too much shaking for me. Well, she's living her best life. She's living her best life. Nobody's gonna, what does she say? I'm on a high right now. You can't take me down. I'm living my best life. And the D is fire. My man wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole, with a 10-foot pole. Are you guys learning that dance? We're all going to learn that dance. That thing looks like it would jolt the baby. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's, I mean, how long has it been around, right? You need a nerve pill? She let that crib bounce. Maybe she's just thinking if she has that crib that like the baby will not need to be rocked or anything, and she'll get a robot arm to feed the baby. I see. I bet you so. Thinking like I'll just put it in there and it'll just keep the baby quiet because it'll constantly keep the baby moving, you know? See, I wonder who told her about that crib. I wonder if it was. That's why I was trying to see if it was one of the Kardashians or something. Because if they had one, then she would be like, "Oh gosh, I got to get on the bandwagon. I got to get this." You hear that song? Yeah, I know. Everybody's got that song in their heads. My man wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. My man, the 10-foot pole. It's kind of neglecting the baby. They want to be held. Yeah, I don't know, Kristy, and I don't know a lot about them, but I see a lot of flaws on it already. That it's like so far down. It's like, imagine like, some people have to go way down into a washing machine and they can't take it when the tubs are so big. That's what it looks like. It looks like the baby's laying on like the floor. You found that crib very offensive. Typical of a sociopath, Christine. Wow. Okay. We could be playing word cookies. Okay, our guest is here. Okay, let me put our guest over here. Make sure our guest is... Hello.
I don't know a lot about them, but I see a lot of...
Can you hear us? Hi.
Hi,
This is Carolyn.
why do I hear you talking on the screen?
Because you have your YouTube on. You have to shut your YouTube. Yeah, you have to shut it. You have to mute it. Okay, there you go. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How
Oh,
are
it's
you?
okay. You don't have anyone else on here. It's like I don't hear anybody else.
It's just you and me. Do you want me to pull somebody
All
up here?
right.
You want somebody else up here?
Only if they want it.
Oh, who wants to come up here? Somebody else? I'll put it in Slack. See if someone else. So what, tell me.
Yeah, so good luck.
What?
It took me like 4 times to get through.
Oh, well, they're used to coming on. They come on all the time. So tell me, how long have you been following the case?
Oh, for a long time.
A long time?
Long time.
Did you ever believe that Gypsy was a victim?
No.
Never.
In some sort of sense, well, in the beginning, yeah, but in some sort of sense she was, but no. She was a complete con artist.
Right.
She fully admits that she knew at 8 years old, she didn't need a wheelchair. She's been set on the stand. She liked the attention, she liked the fame, you know, everything that came with it.
Right.
And then towards the end, Dee Dee was getting sick, they were being investigated.
Right.
And that's when Dee Dee was like, you need to stop this. If you're an adult now, you're going to get in trouble as an adult.
Yeah.
But she didn't want it. And she, obviously, she was still doing it.
Yeah, she was actively, she was shoplifting stuff. She was a prolific shoplifter, right? She even shoplifted the murder weapon.
The trouble was the last few days, so.
Well, with what?
She's been fake reporting people and bullying them online.
Oh, yeah. And what about Ken? Do you think he's the father?
No.
You don't think he's the father of the baby?
I'm back and forth because one lie comes out of her mouth and I do all the calculations. I'm like, no, that baby's coming in December, not January.
Oh, really? You
And
think
then,
that?
yeah. And then, but that's why I want the measurements that were on the screen. I keep trying to see if
Yeah, but see, we did.
Stop
We
that.
stopped it. We stopped that thing. And we looked because we looked at a bunch of us did, and like I've had ultrasounds and they've had the weeks on there, and hers didn't have that.
No, we don't have the weeks on there. The weeks go in the report usually, not on the screen.
Well, they're on my ultrasound pictures that they gave me to take home.
How long ago was that?
I'm sorry.
Huh?
What did you say? I'm sorry. I didn't get what you said.
How long ago was that?
Well, for me, it's 14, 15 years, but for Kristy, her daughter has it, and her daughter's currently pregnant and has them on there.
Well, the thing is with that place, it's more of a,
Oh, that place,
um,
yeah. That place doesn't have it. We're
family.
talking about a doctor's office. Our doctor's office still have the weeks on there. But and some just
Well,
like Chris Reed, that well they do here. I mean they do for her daughter. That's why we stopped it because we were trying to look for that and it didn't have it. I can get I have a screenshot of it. I'm sure I do. Um,
well, I've been going through it. I haven't gone through it on my computer, but I keep trying to zoom in and it's just too
I'm pretty
fuzzy.
sure I
And I
have.
didn't see them take any measurements,
Yeah, because I don't think they really. I
but
mean, I don't think they're like diagnostic or anything. It's just more like just for the pictures and
yeah.
stuff. Like she has to have her anatomy scan at 20 weeks, and that should be coming up for her. Um, and I think maybe she doesn't have them done at the doctor's office because the doctors don't want her filming there. A lot
Well,
of
she filmed the first one, supposedly, in the doctor's office.
yeah, but that didn't look like a doctor's office. That I don't know what that looked like. A lot of people
Yeah.
didn't think that was a real doctor's office. I don't know. It's just odd. She's got so many odd things about this pregnancy. Like she never really talked much about going on appointments. She never talked about like the blood work, all the blood work you have in the beginning. She never really talked about the prenatal testing unless somebody brought it up in the chat. And even then, I
She,
mean, I don't know.
she said the baby was tested, but you can't test for that particular chromosome disorder. And the test that she would have is there's something called an NT, it's nuchal translucent phase,
Yep,
which if you've had a baby,
I
I'm sure
had
you
it.
know.
Yep, I had it twice.
It can only be done like in a very small window, like
Right.
1 week and 6 days, or maybe
It's
2 weeks.
it,
I don't
it's
remember
it's it's later
exactly.
than that, but you can either have it like
So,
some people choose just to have the nuchal translucency where they measure that and they don't have the blood test to go along with it. That's what I had with my first one. The second one I had the blood test. They send you a little kit. You prick your finger, you send it back, and then you go for the ultrasound. And it's I think it's in like the 10 weeks that you go for that, and you have to eat something really sugary. They tell you they want the baby moving a lot, and then they do the measurements, and then right then and there they'll tell you what your chances are. And but it's not for everything. It's for like Down syndrome, trisomy 18, 15, I believe it is, and another one. But for her to say
21.
that she knows
Okay.
100% her baby is, like, how can you? Because it doesn't test for everything.
Right. It's just when they do that test, it's just like if there's more than 3 millimeters of fluid, and they're like, something might be going on. Let's do further testing.
Right, and with the blood test, it
So,
tells them more than that. So, the blood test really gives them, like, when you do the blood test and the nuchal translucency measurement. So, because I know when we had it, I mean, and we felt good. We said, wow, we had like the chances of very, very low, like the lowest they could be of having it. But still, they don't say to you 100%. They say to
yeah.
you, your chances are extremely low that anything like that is wrong with your baby. And we don't recommend that you have anything else. But still, like I said, you can say they said this, but like nothing's 100%. I mean, unless you probably have the amniocentesis, which she's not going to have. Or I don't even know if they use that chronic villi sampling, the CVS, where I don't even know if they do that anymore. But the amniocentesis would be her next step if she wanted something, but it's more invasive, and there's a risk.
Well, with her particular type of chromosomal disorder,
Right.
you can't be tested until after the baby's born. It's something that you'll realize, like, just like Dee Dee did. She realized, like, wait, something's not right here. And she started taking her in for all kinds of tests because something wasn't right. Dee Dee wasn't, like, making her sick or every procedure that she had was absolutely necessary for the chromosomal disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I agree.
and,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, in Gypsy's interview, she'll claim like, oh, I had all these surgeries and oh, my salivary glands were removed. That's a lie. No, they weren't.
Right.
Um,
She lies. I mean,
and
she lies a
try,
lot.
yeah,
She even
haven't
said
done.
afterwards that her teeth. She said after she got out of prison, she said her teeth got bad from chemo. She never had chemo.
Bullshit. Right.
Yeah.
No, her teeth got bad. She had bad dental hygiene and drank all that Pepsi all the time.
Yeah,
And even if you look at the closet full of medication,
yeah,
almost everything in there is over the counter. Almost
Right.
everything is a full container. There's a huge, like 2 rows, all prescription mouthwash because she had such horrible hygiene, which
Right.
was rotting her teeth out. So, yeah, no.
yeah. And I mean, I don't understand. Like she says to Nick, I have a closet full of designer clothing, and basically,
You're gonna think I'm spoiled.
yeah. I mean, where was that? Because she never dressed that way ever that we saw. Like she dressed either in those princess dresses or she dressed like an old lady or she dressed to look like something was wrong with her. Let's put it that way. And I didn't see her like.
When she's texting online at night.
Yeah, I mean, but she only had like, I don't know how many, she had like bikinis, or I saw her in a bikini that she sent to her dad. And like some of those wigs and those leather outfits. But, she made it sound like she had all these designer outfits. She didn't leave in those designer outfits. She didn't, she wasn't found, when she was at the police station, she was in like the old t-shirt with blood on it. And, I don't know. I don't know what she is all about. You think you have her, I don't know. She scares the crap out of me.
Well, even Nick, like, in all the text messages they had correspondence back and forth before this even happened, there were numerous times in the text messages where Nick's like telling her, like, you scare the crap out of me.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
yeah.
She hadn't even met her yet.
Yeah, I think she's very volatile. And remember when Ryan told her something about that she got violent and she got really upset? It was on the Life After Lockup, and she's like, don't say that. Take that back. I'm not violent. And he says, okay, you're not violent. But she was so upset that he would say that she was violent. And I think that's just... Yeah, absolutely. And she just, with Ryan... She was trying to make him mad all the time. Like, oh, yeah, I told my sister about this. Oh, yeah, I told my mother about this. And then when she was, like, Amber herding it in the kitchen trying to take video of Ryan, and I really think that guy treated her very nice. Like, he always gave her compliments. He always told her she was fine the way she was. She didn't need any of this cosmetic surgery. She didn't need to do anything. And she was always just trying to make him... think somebody was after her, oh, my old boyfriend called, oh, Ken's calling me. Like, she just loved to stick push his buttons about that just to see the reaction. But with Ken, I think it's a little bit different, but I still don't think she's in love with Ken or vice versa.
She's in love with Ken.
Yeah, I don't even understand that. I'm sorry.
But every time her and Ken are fighting all the time, and every time they get in a fight, she's texting Ryan, like, still stringing him along.
Yeah, but that's what she does. She loves doing that. If she could talk to Nick, she'd probably be texting him too. She just loves to have people, around doing that kind of stuff.
Apparently, word on the street is she has been in contact with him through third party.
That's what I heard. Yeah, I heard that too.
See what goes on with that.
Yep, I heard that too. And he supposedly, did he have another girlfriend?
Who?
Nick. I heard something about that. Yeah, no. Like since he's been in prison.
Oh, I don't know.
I heard that tonight. Someone was saying that. Does anyone in the chat know if you know? Put it in. But
I know he had a girlfriend before Gypsy. All the emails that were sent back and forth where he's like, hey, do you think she's crazy?
Right.
And he insists that's actually his ex-girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and why did he say, do you think she's crazy? Was it just because she asked him to murder her mother, or because of those outbursts that scared him so much?
He was asking because of her asking him to,
kill Dee Dee. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, oh, it'll be a last resort. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. He kept trying to get her to run away.
Oh, I know, and she
Yeah.
wanted Dee Dee gone. You know what I mean? And I saw some kind of Mother's Day message she made. I had never seen it before, and she's like, "Oh, I'm reflecting on my mother now. Was she a good mother? No. Did you know?" I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, Gypsy, this is like so cringeworthy." And she's like, "But I just want to think she's in heaven now." And it's like, I don't know. She really is a psychopath.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She has to have the attention all the time. And once that baby comes and she doesn't have the attention, and the baby starts crying in the middle of the night, that AI kid is only going to do so much, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I really hope they have somebody with her. Like, I mean, I think she's going to push. Like, I don't know. The soonest she can get divorced is it 6 months from?
February?
Is it like around November, or someone said
Yeah.
that they have to wait longer?
Well, Brian wasn't actually served until mid-July, so August, September, October, November, December, like mid-January. So right around about the time she.
Yeah, so she'll probably be shopping for some house with Ken, you know what I mean, and setting up her nursery there. I think that's really why she's not setting up a nursery at Rod and Christie's. And I don't know. I mean, Kristy, she's a meddler like crazy. Just
Well, she can't marry Ken until she's divorced is final.
right.
And even then, like, she's not off parole until
So,
mid-June.
yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. It's a mess. It's a mess, and Kristy, I think she likes Ken.
Yeah, a little too much. I don't, honestly, I had this epiphany like a week or two ago. I don't think Ken ever really left. Because we know Gypsy likes the plan thing.
Right.
She planned that for 2 years. And she was with Ken, and that's when Dr. Phil and all this came in. And apparently they talked to Ken and were like, oh, you need to let her spread her wings and fly, which I call BS on that. I think that her and Ken had a scene because they put their heads together and realized, hey, I'm up for parole at such and such a date. But you have criminal stuff on your record.
Right.
You have a record. I'm not going to get out early. So let's can break up. And apparently she had like 250 guys writing her while she was there.
Yeah, well, they do that. They do that with everybody.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's even Susan Smith had guys writing her. It's a scary thing. There's men and women that do like people that are in prison. It's some kind of some kind of personality. I don't know, a disorder or something. But they like to have relationships with people that are behind bars, and they even go for the people that are like in there for life. And it's some kind of I think a lot of the women have been cheated on and stuff, and they know where their man is. He's dependent on them, and same with women. But yeah, there's also ones that write to the people that are coming out. And I think with Ken, he didn't realize she was going to have so much popularity, publicity, and I think he felt jealous that he wasn't in that. And that's why I really do think he came back, because he did slip and say that.
No. The one that what you're talking about is hypersophilia, where people like fall in love with the
Right.
name.
Yeah.
But I mean, he had to know that there was going to be attention because this all happened right around the time that Dr. Phil was there and someone else, I can't remember. But I truly think that of all those 250 guys writing her, she picked Ryan because he was the only one in Louisiana.
Right.
She didn't want to move in with their parents. And he looked good on paper because he was a teacher. And I think she knew from the beginning that if she got out, she was going to be back. She was using him to get out early because that would be her only chance.
Mm-hmm.
And she planned to go back to him the whole time because Kristy and Ken were talking to him. So that told me, like, Ken never left.
Right.
For the show, they played it like, oh, Kristy intervened.
Yeah.
I think that was the point.
Yeah, and I think she was always full of. She broke up with Ryan once, even after they got married, when she was in prison, and she said, "Yeah, we're not together anymore." And then he even said on that podcast that she would constantly, like, push him away, like break up with him, but keep him, throw him off a cliff, but keep him close, and that's like she keeps him on a string. And what? No, I was going to say what she needs is. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
All right. Have you watched Becca Scoop series?
No, not really. I've heard about her. She's a nurse or something.
Oh my Lord, you have to.
Oh yeah. Okay.
See, Becca Scoops was a nurse psychologist. Her husband's a detective.
Okay.
And she has a 6-part series on YouTube. You have to start from the beginning. But a lot of content creators, they can kind of say, like, well, this is word on the street.
Right.
But Becca, she will not put anything out unless it's 100% fact checked first. So everything in her videos is fact checked. But she talks about that exact same thing that she did with Nick, where she pulls him in and she throws him out, pulls him in and throws him out. If you won't do this, I won't love you anymore. And he's like, no.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, when she was on that podcast, and that podcaster and his fiance were there, and they were like validating what Gypsy was doing, and I couldn't believe it. They were like, "Oh yeah, like it's totally normal to be doing that," and like anybody else would say, like, "This seems like not a good thing that you do this," and constantly, like, she's got him on a string, and what she needs is some guy. And maybe Ken did it to her. I don't know. Maybe Ken got fed up, and like how she was crying that he was going to leave her. Maybe he did that when they said he broke her heart. Like, said, I'm not going to play these games anymore. You want me, you don't want me. It's like I don't know if that's the thing, but she honestly needs someone to stand up to that. Like, Ryan plays right into that, and she knows she has Ryan like that. That she can, toss him away, then bring him back, toss him away, bring him back. Like, I think he'd even go back to her right now. So, yeah.
100%.
So that's
what she needs is to be an 8x8 herself, but she's going to keep doing it. I really have a bad feeling, and I have to say it, that she's going to hurt that baby.
a lot of people are scared about. A lot of people are scared. I'm scared about that baby. I mean, I hope that. What I'm thinking, the only thing that gives me a little peace is that I think she's not very maternal, and I think she's going to get a nanny or something. Because I don't know. I'm hoping that, because I really don't think she'll be able to care for that baby on her own. I think she's too self-centered, too immature, even though she's 33 years old. I don't think she really wants this, or she even understands what's involved in this. And
she has no clue.
Yeah, I think that the best thing they could do with all that money she has is to get a live-in nanny.
Apparently, she doesn't have much money. Well, the family's hiding money, for one. And they're talking about a conservatorship, which I don't know how the family can get conservatorship if she's a ward of the state. So that'll be interesting. She probably might have some lawsuits coming against her here real soon. But apparently she just spends her money like it's coming out of the faucet.
But she's also getting a lot of stuff donated, which is strange because she does have money yet. She's getting so much stuff donated to her, and then like that whole thing about that baby registry, and at first it looked like everything was bought, and then she said no it wasn't. But she could be lying about that too, you know what I mean? So it's just strange. And I was going to ask you another question. Oh, that friend of hers that Bree.
Yeah,
Okay.
crackhead Bree.
I got blocked from her TikTok, and I mean, I wasn't being mean or anything. I asked her just, a question, and she blocked me. I couldn't believe it. But I just told her that she was not reading the DFS report. She was reading a crime supplemental report, and I got blocked.
Everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She blocks everybody. And then it's funny because we were just talking about this tonight. She's got like 20,000. Like a few days ago, she had 10,000 followers, and then all of a sudden today she has 20,000. But if you go on her live, there's usually like 150 people watching, and she's on live like, gosh, almost 24 hours.
Oh, somebody told me, is that, yeah, she's on like 7, yeah, they do. But let me ask you something. How did she become friends with that person? Is that someone that was in prison with her?
Who, Gypsy?
No, Bree.
How did Bree become friends with Gypsy?
Yes.
That I don't know, because I question that too. She's doing drugs, like right there in her life. I'm like, isn't this girl like an ex-convict, a parolee? Apparently she's not.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't know where she met her. Did she meet her like after she got out? Did she meet her on TikTok, or does anybody if anybody in the chat knows how Gypsy is friends with Bree? Can you put that in there? Yeah, I don't know. I only saw her the one time. I won't see her anymore because she blocked me.
Yeah, she blocked everybody.
Yeah.
And we're kind of thinking that Gypsy bought her subscribers. There's no way she has 20,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it is, it'll show sooner or later. But, and they wouldn't come in like they'd come in and just a big bunch with not correlating to any new content or something that's hot content. But I don't know. Is she on YouTube too, that girl?
Bree? I don't know. I never watched her stuff. Very rarely.
Yeah, I only saw her that one time, and I was just like, oh gosh, this is the lady. And then I just said she was trying to debunk something, and I was like, well, wait, she's reading the wrong thing. And then I just told her, and I wasn't rude or anything. But
yeah, she blocks everything.
That was it.
She's like so 100% up Gypsy's butt. It's gross. And
but yeah, sooner or later, when she turns on her, then it'll be a different story, because she's had creators turn on her that were with her for 5 years.
Yeah, we had that conversation too. Like, we were taking bets. When do you think this is going to turn on Bree? Like,
yeah, or vice versa, right? Yeah.
Definitely by the time the baby's born. Or by the time she gets off parole. Because right now, Gypsy's just using Bree to be her attacker.
Right, yeah.
Gypsy will literally give her a list of who she doesn't like, and then Bree goes after those people.
Right.
But I do know all the copyright strikes.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure out, like, is it Gypsy or is it her PR team? I think it's actually Gypsy, because when you get a strike, the person will strike.
Well, it should say that, and it should. They have to put their name. If it's a lawyer on behalf of that channel or something that is a managing moderator or somebody that can do that, they would have to have their name of who it is that's claiming copyright.
Well, they're all coming up Gypsy. But the scary thing is, when these creators appeal, the creators have to, in return, send their information.
When they appeal,
a lot of
yes.
these people, they have family, they have kids, this is their livelihood. And not only is she trying to take their livelihood away, but now she has their information, and they're like, this is a girl that literally hired somebody and groomed them for 2 years and hired them to come and film her.
Yeah.
Like, who's to say she can't do that to us?
Right. Yeah.
They're kind of scared. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I mean, there's got to be. There might be some validity there. I don't know. And then just they're best off not to use her content, and
Well, that's the thing, they can. Legally, as long as they narrate it.
There was one that didn't have anything on, like she was just uploading, I forget who, what, it was straight on her videos, Gypsy's videos.
With no narration?
Nothing. But
Yeah,
even
that's not enough.
yeah, but even with narration, you see fair use is very there's 4 factors, and it's not all just cut and dry. A lot of people just think, oh yeah, you can use anything as long as you say this, that, and the other thing. No, it's not like that, and lawyers will tell you that too. And in the end, if she considered fair use and it felt that it wasn't that it didn't fall into one of those 4 factors, as long as she considered fair use, she's not going, that's the guideline there, because fair use, like a lot of lawyers don't even understand. There's so much gray area. Some people used to believe, oh, it's only if I use 30 seconds of it and then I talk and I use it for 30 seconds, but it's not just cut and dry like that. And it has to fall into these 4 different areas that make up fair use. So if it is used for something like if they're doing like really personal mocking of her, that's not fair use. That's not criticism. Criticism is talking about like what like something about an episode. Okay, I don't like this, that. But if they're like doing a lot of personal attacks on her, that's not fair use. It's not. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of different. There's a lot of different areas with fair use, and all she has to do is think, that, hey, this is, give it consideration, and that's what it is with a DMCA takedown.
Well, it's just a little suspicious that she just attacked all these YouTubers within a few days. And I think it's because she's scared because we're all revealing the truth. Nick's appeal is coming up. There was a rumor that he fired his attorney and no longer has an appeal. But then I heard today that that's actually not true, so I'm still trying to get confirmation on that. But I do know that they're putting together a rally October 18th in front of the courthouse. To support Nick.
Oh yeah, on October 18th. Yes, I heard that as well. And I know that there's some controversy about which creators are going to go there, and there's some stuff like that going around. But I don't know. I mean, Nick, I think he got a poor, got a bad, he should have had a lawyer there. I love how she yelled for a lawyer at the end of her interrogation. I want a lawyer.
And hold her teeth out. Yeah, to make herself look miserable. Yeah.
I want a lawyer.
She pulled her teeth out?
Yeah, she does that to make her, and has all these health conditions. She can't go, she can't go there. She really thought she was going to get that. She had the perfect plan. She thought, like, okay, she didn't really even like Nick. She knew that's why she posted that stuff. It wasn't so her mother was found. It was so that Nick got caught fast. And that's why she was under the freaking blanket, and she told him to bite her. He didn't want to bite her, but she told him, no, I like it. And then when she went to wipe her nose in the interrogation, she made sure to grab that sleeve so that the investigator would see that big mark that she was like constantly, rubbing. And then somebody else in here said, watch, she presses on the feeding tube site to make her like cry, to try to get some emotion when she's talking to the investigator. And she does. She's pressing and pressing it. She's pressing the site.
You can't cry. You got no feelings.
Yeah, well, she was pressing that site. It's crazy.
Cut an onion and not cry. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then talk to her. Yeah. Yeah, she really thought she was going to go home and have the house to herself.
Yep. And everybody's going to say, oh, poor Gypsy, that bad man, got you from there. She really had these illusions that she was going to be fine. It must have been, I'd love to get into her head right then and there. Like, I would have loved to have talked to her, right after that and had an interview, because I think she's probably just couldn't even understand how that could happen.
Yeah, she always gets what she wants. So I'm sure she, yeah.
Yeah. So
Do you think Dan was involved?
Dan? Now, I don't know what is with Dan. See, I don't know enough because now they're like two Dans and somebody's got the wrong Dan and right. I don't know anything about this guy. I only know about his testimony in the Nick Godejohn trial, and that's it. I mean, he was at the Vision Con, right, and she met him, and then she went there, but they supposedly didn't have sex, and Dee Dee came and got her from there. But I think Gypsy was out fooling around with a lot of guys. I think.
Yeah, and her and Dan had sex. I'm kind of thinking that little playhouse shed was like, when Mom was asleep, dudes would come over and that's where she'd go have her little escapade.
Oh yeah, I think she was like that. Even that night when she kept telling, like when she wasn't around, when Nick was texting her, and then she had said, you know, is it okay if I have if I go with someone before we leave? I think she had guys around the area somewhere.
Yeah,
she was going with
Dan also that night.
Because she was
Giving out the brownies.
She was not around, like, she wasn't around for Nick. Oh, I was sleeping, I was this, I was that. You know, you weren't sleeping. And like all those sites she was on and stuff, that she, come on, she was like way oversexed, hypersexual. She was doing something like, yeah, I think she was way doing something. And I think she's still like that. Now that's what I'm saying. I don't think she's going to be happy with Ken. I don't think that's what it is. And then when she looks at her,
happy with her.
but I'm just saying her sister like leads, I think, the life that Gypsy wants. And
yeah, her sister needs to sleep with one eye open. I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
she's very jealous.
Oh yeah, but her sister. I mean, her sister's educated. She is with an educated guy. They travel. They do things. They have their photo shoots and everything too. But I think, Gypsy now is going to be saddled with a baby, right? And she even said to somebody, well, if I can get a sitter, I can go to Spain. And she's going to find out, like, her sister's probably going to be flitting off to different locations. And I think there's going to be a lot of jealousy, like even more so. I think there's jealousy now, but I think even more so, especially as she gets further in the pregnancy and starts getting stretch marks and heavier, and her sister's wearing little stuff. You know what I mean? I just think there's going to be a lot. She didn't give herself any time. I mean, she's been in prison this whole time. And it's like she didn't even have like the regular teenage years most people have and stuff like that because she was playing a certain character. Like she had maybe a little bit behind the scenes, but not really out there. And now she's just thrust right from prison to Ryan to Ken and now right into this baby.
Yeah, she's a mess. And I totally agree with her point. I just started reading comments that haven't been until now. But yeah, she complains like, oh, her childhood was so bad and she was so abused. But she did way more than...
Oh yeah, she had a good show. Whale watching and Disney. Yeah, she went on a lot of things. Yes, I agree. But
secluded. I was never around people. That's all lies.
Yeah, that was all lies. Absolutely. And most of the stuff that Dee Dee did, that was just to benefit Gypsy. And Gypsy was the one. Like if you look in her room, she had the doll houses. She had all the dolls she wanted. Whatever she wanted, she got.
The whole back shed was the dollhouse.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's right that Dee Dee did what she did.
Right.
But on the other hand, it was all to benefit for Little Princess.
Right, and not many people get to spend 2 to 3 weeks in Disney. You know what I mean? They don't they don't multiple times and in Universal, and no, they don't. And they closed down the park except for 100 people, she said, 100 families or something that had these special passes. Yeah, not many people get to experience that.
Charming, dance up and down Main Street.
Right, and the royal mashed potatoes and all of that special treatment she had. So yeah, I mean, it's just. They probably, like, if they didn't have that grift, she would, Dee Dee, who knows, they'd be living in some apartment somewhere with, with nothing. So I don't know.
Well, Dee Dee probably would have passed by now, but I guarantee Gypsy would have been down by the river, living in a bus, eating government cheese down in the bayou somewhere. 4 babies on it.
And it's like, I don't know. And now her family, everybody's in on, her money. And I'm just shocked. I really liked her dad, but then I've been seeing, like, when I watched that HBO Mommy, Dead, and Dearest again, and I saw their eyes light up when the lawyer said Munchausen's by proxy. And both him and Kristy, they had the duper's delight, and I was like, oh my gosh, And then when he was saying on Alive, well, Lifetime's going to pay for it, and it could be a beautiful baby or something, and Lifetime's going to pay for it. So it's like, you look back on that last episode of Life After Lockup, and you see that it was scripted in there because the father made such a stink about don't have a baby. Oh, we won't. And next scene is, oh, I think I'm pregnant. Oh, my test is positive.
Well, she told Kim she couldn't get pregnant. She fully lied to him.
Oh, yeah. She lied. Oh, I didn't think I could.
Everything out of her mouth was a lie, except for in her confessions when she said, I'm a very good liar.
Yeah, or she said on HBO, she said, I haven't even, she said, yeah, I've just started being honest, but I haven't even been honest with my attorneys. Yeah, I know. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl is too much. She really is.
Horrible.
But I don't know. And I think Mia's going to probably have enough of her soon, but she's got to be very, very jealous of Mia, and she's probably, I don't think Kristy's portraying like they're so close, but
they hate each other.
Yeah, I know. Kristy's just doing that because she wants to be in all these episodes. She wants to be in this show, and she wants to get paid for it, so that's why she's doing that. Like, she's like buckling Gypsy's shoes, and I don't think she ever treated like Gypsy anything like she treated her own kids, and I'm sure Gypsy feels that. So it's such a put on, and Rod, I think she's probably very jealous because Rod had like a long relationship with his daughter. The one thing that Rod said was really wacko, that he wants to have an intimate relationship with Gypsy. Now that is just a weird intimate relationship with Gypsy. Like, I don't know whether he just chose the wrong word, it was weird.
He probably had too many parents at that point. But
yeah.
They also portray Rod as, like, being on time with all his child support. No, he wasn't. Dee Dee had to take him to court so many times. Like, why do you think she was grifting? A single mom trying to, spoil her princess.
Right, and that they couldn't come, and they even have messages from Dee Dee saying that there was some hurricane or something, and she said, come on up, and they were close. Yeah. I mean, those two, like, Kristy and Dee Dee were, like, talking and sending messages to each other. It's very weird. They were all close there, but then... Yeah, and I don't understand Dee Dee's family in the HBO documentary. They acted like they hated her, and now it's like something else is coming out that I don't know. That was all very weird.
Her ashes were never flushed. That was all show for TV.
Yeah.
Her sister has her ashes. They weren't flushed out.
Right. Yeah. And
actually, there was just something on YouTube tonight before I got on with you that I was looking at. Preview for Gypsy Rose episode, like a date, or 2020. That's what it was.
Oh, really? A new one? You mean is coming out?
Well, it said it was a preview for a new one, but then I was looking at the some of the responses, and they were from like 3 months ago. So is this already been aired, or? Yeah, I was like, if not, like, if you go on there, you'll see I wrote a whole page. I was like, I hope you all report the truth, not all the crap that, narrative.
Because
dig in.
Yeah, they're still going on with that, like the Munchausen's by proxy, and that she was an abuse victim and stuff, Yeah, and I mean, like People magazine has her as a celebrity pregnancy and a celebrity family.
Oh,
That's crazy. And they have a true crime, section. I mean, I don't really know of any, like, I'm trying to think of, like, is there any murderer, that's come out? Like, people say, oh, what about Casey Anthony? Casey Anthony was acquitted. I know, and people don't like her and don't want her, and she doesn't have this celebrity or anything, and she was acquitted. Here you have Gypsy. And she is a murderer, though she doesn't want to identify as a murderer. But she is a murderer, and we don't have anybody else like this. I don't think that, because she's not this victim. So it's like, it's so crazy that they gave her that deal, because she should be behind bars for the rest of her life.
100%.
I don't know how the heck she got that deal, but they said it's all the political thing and people thought she was a victim.
Yeah, because her attorney, the DA, was up for election that year, and everyone had believed, like, oh, this poor Munchausen by proxy survivor, and oh, poor baby, and she huddled in the bathroom. No, she was in the bathroom shaving her legs and her hoo-ha, getting ready for sex.
Right.
And if you look at the crime scene photos, somebody had sex on the bed next to Dee Dee's corpse.
Ugh.
If she's not, she's psycho. Yeah. She's not innocent. Like, she plays.
No, I don't think she's innocent at all. And she protests too much, because she told that aunt in the letter, I'm still the good little girl who likes Disney princesses and kitties. It's like, it's sick. She said she didn't know Santa Claus wasn't real until she went to prison. Get out of here. She's lying. I mean, totally lying.
And she didn't know her age. Come on.
Yeah, and second grade education.
Watch that too. She's not the smart. Well, the thing is, like, she's dumb, but she's super freaking smart, which is like the scariest type of psychopath.
Right. But see, but a lot of times they get overconfident, and that's when they usually make mistakes. And she's done that before. I mean, she's been caught in different lies and changing things because she thinks she's so smart about everything. And, I don't know. I just don't know how much Ken and, he's going to like this. I mean, a lot of people are telling him stuff, and I mean, he doesn't want to look at the interrogation, neither does Ryan, and that's a problem. Like, why? What are they scared of looking at that? They just have this narrative that, oh no, Nick Godejohn is the one that manipulated her, and Nick Godejohn is the one that did it all, and he's right where he should be, but they won't look at her interrogation.
Well, she's so controlling, she probably won't let them.
Right, but they could have before she got home, but Ryan was really trying. But
they all fell through her narrative just like everybody else.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I don't identify as a murderer. I think that she's such an entitled person. When you're like, how the heck, I don't know, living her best life, and then the Kim Kardashian crap. I don't know. Yeah, how they're associating with her, I don't think that's going to go well, because they're going to tell her to get away from her. I mean, she's not.
I'm pretty sure that was a one-time thing, because I can tell you myself, I've reached out to Kardashian numerous times. Like, how does it feel to have a murderer? Like, why don't you help Nick?
Yeah, I know.
She lied to your face, telling you there was, because Kim's all about prison reform.
Right.
There's no opportunity for therapy or anything. Yes, there was. You refused it. You decided to do drugs and sleep your 8.5 years.
Yeah.
You could have gotten help, but psychopaths don't think they need help. They think it's everyone else is crazy.
Yeah. So,
and did you see the last shot that Sweet Pea got?
The last what?
The lashback.
I didn't. I looked at their Instagram, and I did check. Are people leaving stuff in the comments?
Nobody's leaving anything on the website. I actually left a comment on the website. Apparently, quite a few people left messages on the reviews on the Google part.
Oh.
But apparently they have the opportunity to erase that, which they have. And then Yelp was getting so many hits at like 1 star that they took a ton of reviews. And then if you like go and look through them at the bottom, it says there's like extra reviews that couldn't be posted. And then it says the account was flagged because of all these.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. I thought, like, I just looked at their Instagram to see if they were going to put up, like, Gypsy, right? But they were going to put her up on there. But I don't think they're going to do that now. But I think they probably would have.
Oh, no.
But I don't think so anymore because they do showcase, like, some people that use their services. But, yeah.
I don't Instagram, but I can tell you, like, overnight, they went from 5 stars down to 1.5 on Yelp. To the point, like, you can't even leave a comment on Yelp anymore.
Yeah,
Yelp put off to it. So,
I mean, and did they not know, like, I don't know, did Lifetime set that up for them? And,
I don't know. But that's the other thing, too, because you're talking about, possible next thing on Lifetime. And then also, apparently, she was nominated to possibly be on Dancing with the Stars. I can guarantee you Lifetime and whoever produces Dancing with the Stars, they're going to get flooded with letters like, don't you dare.
Dancing with the Stars, I didn't even know that was still on. She said she has no rhythm or she's very clumsy, she said.
She doesn't, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how she would.
So they don't need to glorify
a murderer,
a mama killer.
Yeah, she has enough like to do to get out. Like, I mean, she's lucky enough that she's out, and because
able to be on social media.
It's like, what is she doing?
Crime over social media.
Yeah, and that's like what everybody's saying, like the Son of Sam laws and stuff. Like they say, okay, well, she's not making money off of her murderer, but what is she infamous for? Is the murder? So. Right? Well, besides that, like, she's not coming out. Like, why is she have this notoriety? It's because of the murder. So, in a sense, isn't that her making money off this murder, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the other argument is, well, there's no Son of Sam law in Louisiana. Well, when she's bullying and people, for one, that's like criminal cyberbullying across state lines. And when she's posting stuff, not just in Louisiana where she's making money, but people are watching from all over.
Yeah.
She's making money in California and every other state.
Yeah. But Christine, see, OJ, he was acquitted too. So in the eyes of the law, he wasn't a murderer. He was acquitted, even though you could, we all believe what we believe. But you know what I'm saying, Christine? He was acquitted, just like Casey Anthony. So, but here you have Gypsy. No, she's a murderer. I mean, that's the difference, and that's what's so strange. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's just.
So anyone anti-dip, I suggest I just wrote 2020, I wrote Sweet Tea, I plan to write whoever produces Dancing with the Stars, and
he did go back to jail for something else, right? Yeah, and that was, people thought, okay, well, yeah, it was for those trophies that he stole. Yeah.
Yeah, because he robbed somebody, like broke into someone's hotel room in Vegas.
Right.
With weapons.
Yep.
Oh, let me ask you a question. So, if a felon is out of jail, typically they cannot be around firearms. Is that qualifying in every state? Because I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if it's in every state. I don't know if it's for a certain number of years. I don't know. Sometimes there's people get things expunged after a certain amount of years, or there's another thing that I forget what it's called, depending on how many years, but I wouldn't think she's supposed to be around anything. I don't know the rules in Louisiana, the laws, but why? Does someone there have a firearm?
Apparently, and I did not notice this, but the episode where she's sitting in the garage and talking to Ryan and saying, I love you, and he's like, oh, I got you for adultery.
Right.
She's like, oh, I haven't done anything. And then she calls him right after and is like, I love you.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Apparently there's a gun hanging on the wall right behind her. I did not notice that.
Well,
So I
her
need to
father
go back and
hunts.
watch that.
Her father. Wait, I'm trying to remember if there's pictures of Rod and Mia hunting. Yeah. They hunt. There's pictures. I think it's on Mia's Facebook where they have like a bunch of ducks and stuff. They're coming in with a
I
bunch
don't
of
think
ducks, so that they've got to have, rifles and hunting rifles. So I don't
right,
know.
but I think they're supposed to
They'll,
be
they'll
locked
have
up.
to have them locked up. Like, I mean, the other people in the house, if they're legal to own them, they can have them. But I think there's probably they have to have them under a lock and key or something.
Yeah,
Or
they got a felon in their house, a murderer.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just surprised she's broken made so many violations, and she's still strutting around and bullying people and trying to, destroy their livelihood because she doesn't like what they're saying about them. If you don't like it, get off the internet. Because when you act sloppy, people are going to talk about it.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
I know she has like access. She has the PR team. She has this. She could have somebody that takes care of all of that for her, so she wouldn't even have to look at any of that and just focus on. I mean, she's got so much stuff to focus on with this baby. I mean, like I really didn't think she was pregnant. I was shocked when I saw the ultrasound. I really was. I really didn't think she was pregnant. And it's scary. It really is a scary thing. And I don't know how she's going to handle this because I don't think she's very maternal. And I don't think I'm scared for that baby. So, I mean, but it's not, I mean, it's out of my hands. If it's Ken's baby, if it's Ryan's baby, they better step up.
I don't know why they don't put the paternity test.
Yeah, I think, but could she only have it with an amnion right now?
No.
No.
Oh, it's the NIPT, which is a non-invasive
Pregnancy test. Yeah.
It's blood from her and swabs from both sides. I mean, she could even do swab 10. She
Yeah.
didn't want to get right. And it proves to be, then
Maybe they
Yeah.
did that and they're just keeping that for like this lifetime, you know what I mean? Cliffhanger. Maybe they already did it and they're just keeping it for this lifetime cliffhanger.
knowing Gypsy, I mean, they're saying like, oh, they want to put it off because they want to save a few bucks. I mean,
I don't think that's what it is. I think she might have already did it, but I think maybe Lifetime wants to have a big, cliffhanger.
It's either that, the drag on the drama,
Yeah.
or she knows it's Ryan and she's still trying to track him.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, I don't know where Ken's living, but if that's like his apartment, I mean, she's not going to be able to live there. She did make a mention about, if she would have gotten a certain amount of money, she could have gotten a house with her and Ryan could have got a big house, but they didn't want to give her the money. But, I mean, she's going to want the same thing with Ken now. She's going to want her own house. She doesn't want to live in Mia's bedroom. That's another thing that's like she's always living in Mia's shadow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's I just think Mia better watch because she's very jealous of Mia. I think, my opinion. That's my opinion. But I just think it is. And
even if her and Ken, I mean, she can't move out of her parents' house unless she's married
right.
in a stable environment. I don't know if Ken would qualify as that because he's got has to do legal stuff he needs to deal with still.
Yeah.
So even if they did get married, let's say in February, and move out, like, are they really going to be doing all that? And they have a new baby. And that's a lot. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
I
see.
guarantee you that if that baby's Ryan and then born in December, he's gonna pull some whole like the stress that everybody gave her made her deliver premature.
Yeah, in a way, I wish it is Ryan because I think Ryan will take care of just like he's taking care of that dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's probably, but I don't know what to say. But it was nice having you on when you got on here. Now you know how to get on, and it's a good conversation. I appreciate it.
On the butt.
I appreciate it.
Why do we not just link people in?
I don't know because we used to do that and we had problems. We had like porn bombers and stuff.
What's a porn bomber?
Porn bomber. They came on without clothes.
What's wrong with that?
It's not. YouTube doesn't like that.
I'm sitting here naked. See?
Yeah, that's okay as long as you're not on camera naked. It's okay.
96 degrees out here, I'm dying.
Yeah, you take it. We always joke around. We don't have pants on. Okay. Remember that guy in the Zoom? Oh my gosh, in the business meeting, and he didn't have pants on, and something happened to his camera, and he was like somebody on one of those big news shows, wasn't it? Oh my gosh, that was crazy, crazy.
That's funny for you. Yeah. So,
all right.
Everybody write Dance with the Stars and 2020.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming on. It was a good conversation. And thanks for coming up. And to everybody else, I'm going to say goodnight tonight. I'm tired. But it was a nice night. And God bless, prayers. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Good night.
Where are you?
I'm in New
Where
York.
are you at?
I'm in New York.
New York?